Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to clean the lens and the best way of cleaning the lens. Now, previous experience, yes, you'll have no doubt cleaned your lens on a regular basis. More often than not, we just use the t-shirt or something like that to just give it a wipe over. So I'm going to show you how to give it more of a deep clean. What you'll learn is some techniques, where to clean, how often to clean it, what materials to use, that sort of thing. Why? The big why. Well, this is the #1 reason why you end up with blurry images. To tell you a story, recently when I was traveling, I had this amazing location at a Millennial Bridge where I was down really low, incredible structures, and then you've got St. Paul's Cathedral right at the end of it, and took some amazing shots, beautiful lighting on the tube, going back home and looking at all the photos and starting to edit it, and I didn't clean the lens. There wasn't one single usable image. And I struggled to get back out there at that time of day again to get that photo. So if you don't clean it, you miss out on shots like that. So the tactics, yes, I'm going to go through. #1, share with you straight away, is the cotton bud. So I'm going to show you how we use that. Before I do that though, I'll just share you a quick story. As part of my mission to help photo enthusiasts like yourself get more out of the smartphone photography and be more creative and that sort of thing, and to really get the most out of your existing smartphone, I present at camera clubs on a regular basis. And the most recent one was actually online via Zoom, which was fun. And like I normally do, I ask the question, why don't you use the smartphone more regularly? And I get the same responses. Low light, it's low resolution, they end up being grainy and gritty and speckled and noise and artifacts, all that sort of thing. So I showed them a few techniques that I'll show later in this course on how to do that, and I showed them how you could actually get no noise evident in your photos, which blows them away. Print size for this next one. So I actually grabbed the webcam, picked it up, took them into another room, brought up my 3-year-old macro image, had that on the screen next to me, and you could see the incredible detail that you can get out of the smartphone. But that only happens when you clean the lens, this #1 step. And the other one is blurry image. A lot of them said, oh, my images are always blurry on my smartphone. It's because I've got an old phone. Like, it's not, you don't need to have the latest and greatest phone to get Tack-Sharp images, which is why you're here. You know that there's lots of techniques that you can do that. So I asked the question, okay, what lenses has everybody got? People were saying, oh, I've got this and that. And I'll tell you what, there was some expensive lenses in this group. So it just goes to show the caliber of these amateur photographers were in this photography club. And I said, how often do you clean the lenses? And they're probably thinking, smartphone photography, why is he asking this? But they got in there. And I said, when was the last time you cleaned your smartphone lens? And crickets. No one was in the chat, which was surprising because everyone was engaging and getting right on board. And then I started talking, and then people started commenting and actually admitting, I've never cleaned my lens. Other than just giving it a wipe, I've never given it a proper clean, which is extraordinary because, as you know, it is the #1 tip why you get blurry images is the not being clean enough. So with that, I'm going to show you how to do that. So just take this off. First thing we'll do is actually take the cover off. Okay, so we take the cover off. We've all got different types of covers. Some of them hold credit cards and that sort of thing. So you can imagine where these phones are ending up and getting stuff collected all over them. On YouTube, you see all sorts of tips. I actually saw someone recommend using a tissue. Do not use a tissue. That is the worst, okay? Because it'll actually leave more, it'll deposit and leave more on there than it'll actually remove, which is no good. The other do not is lens cleaning solution. You can use it, the spray, but spray it onto a cloth, and I would really do that last. And I haven't done it yet with the smartphone, probably because once upon a time, many years ago, 20 years ago, I dropped it directly onto the lens and I absolutely ruined a $2,000 lens. Back then, that was a lot of money. I actually took a personal loan out for that lens. So I'm probably a bit shy of of that solution. So lint cloth, fantastic. Get in there, give it a good clean around the opening, because the reason we clean this is because dust collects dust. So we want to get in there and give that a real good clean, okay, in there where the screws for the lens screw in. Okay, give that a clean. Now we go and move on to here. First thing I do is have a look, make sure there's no visible debris, foreign matter on there. Okay, I can see something on there. Okay, I'll just give it a little. Now, people will say, don't do that. It'll introduce condensation and that sort of thing. But just check if there's condensation. Just let it dry, and then we can give it a wipe. Okay, and when we wipe down the phone, because we're wiping down the whole area, aren't we? So we're wiping down the phone. Don't forget to get right around these multi-lens cameras that have risers. You go around and clean those as well. And don't forget the selfie camera on the front. Now, you might not be into selfies, and that's okay. I'm not either. I'm still trying. Yeah, give that a clean there as well. Because if you don't clean it, that'll be the one time you want to use it. Okay, so that's looking really good. Now to move on to my secret weapon, and this is one you won't see on YouTube, you won't see on the internet, people recommending this, but I'll tell you why. It's two reasons. One is it gets in there and it'll actually remove the oils or absorb the oils from your skin. Skin oils, isn't that lovely? So that'll actually get in there. Yeah, that'll get rid of it. And don't forget the flash as well. Okay. All right. Second reason why, if you have a lens attachment, this is brilliant because this Strooman Optics lens, the back lens, because we clean that, but quite often we forget the little one at the back there, and that's just as important. So, got a bit of the cotton bud there. With this particular lens, the glass is actually inside, so it's recessed and it's underneath. So if I can't get in there with this, I just can't get in there and clean it. So that's where I'll get in there with this. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Okay, give that a wipe. It's quite a big lens, so I'm going to wipe. And I can't help it. It's an old technique is to go from the outside. Where there's a lot of glass, like this wide angle lens, then work from the outside and circular motion towards the middle. Okay, and get inside the thread there as well. I like to keep mine spotless. Fantastic. Number one tip for blurry images is check your lens, because that's where you'll end up with those ugly sun flares where you don't want them, and can just absolutely ruin and miss those amazing shots. So thanks for joining me for that one, and I'll see you in the next lesson.